go. Okay. Oh, wait, that's the wrong controller. Whoops. There we go. There we go. Hello? Game? Oh, wait, we're doing this again. I remember this. Oh, God. Okay, we're gonna try. We're gonna try to do this with the wire again for a sec. My controller's been causing me a lot of issues. Hey there, howdy Xavier. Good to see you, Tyrone. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. There we go. Alright. How's this one look? Yeah, I couldn't remember if these guys summoned. Alright, let's see. Has that always been a thing? Oh. I don't remember these gargoyles in standard Lothric. I don't want to check that out. Alright. Let's see. Control. Yeah, wire. This is gonna definitely be a short stream. I'm not gonna deal with this controller all day. This is why we switched to wireless. But wireless isn't working for some reason right now. Which honestly, I swear, I just hate technology. Just fucking work. It's not that hard. There's that stupid fog thing in the way. Really? Like, what the hell are you doing, bud? Oh my god. This asshole is going to be an idiot. I miss my camera, chat. I miss my camera. Just stop moving, asshole. Oh, you saw a funny thing with HP? Cool. Oh. Oh my god, controller. You were going back and forth with the light here, and now you're... Oh my... Why did they make him so random? Why can't he just stop moving? Oh my god, why? Again? I'm gonna have to try wireless again if this keeps up. I'm impressed though that he can't see you while cloaked when we're that close to him. You know? Oh. Oh. Really? I don't even know what causes it sometimes. Hello? Oh my god. It's like it feels the slightest tap from something in the ether, and it decides to stop being connected. Right. It's my chance. Oh my god, now he's doing this thing. Alright. That should be enough of this asshole. We'll pull up the screenshots in a second. Yeah, can't go back up. We already have a shot of him coming out of the abyss, so we're good there. Alright, let's return. Trump tweeted out that he hates Taylor Swift. Then his vicinity got shot in like a few hours later. Swifties are no joke, man. What the F? No joke this happened. Oh, I'm sure. People are crazy. They do stupid shit to people all the time, especially famous people. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try one more time to do the wireless. Let me try to plug it back in. One sec. Again, I don't know why we've been having so many problems with it, so... Nope, it's not working. Yep. Yeah. It doesn't work. There's no hope. I don't know why it doesn't work. I don't know what's different from everything else, but it doesn't work, so. It is what it is. I plug it into the same device, and... Oh, now it's not working here either. Ah! Let's try. Yeah, it's working now. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Hello, controller? Okay, just break them. Whatever. I like how the Herald Legion triggered from that. Like, apparently I got close enough when I went over the edge. Now that is funny. Oh. And wouldn't it be cool if you could survive that fall? Oh my god. What's that plopping sound? The controller? Yeah, that's the installation drive for the PCs to keep this stuff all working, right? Yeah, that's just that being weird. What if I exit out and go back in there? Yeah, so that's just me unplugging and plugging it back in, hoping to fix the issue. Oh my god, like that. Alright. Oh my god. And you see how inconsistent it is? Like, what am I doing? Nothing different. It just breaks like that. This is why we moved to wireless, so we stop having to deal with this bullshit. Why can't technology work? I'm not asking for much. Just a working controller, please. Alright, I want to see this in action. What? I stopped moving and it disconnected. What? There we go. A working controller in 2024 is too much, Loki. I know I have to charge an extra $100 for the fix. All I want is some shots of these stupid Legionnaires. I'm surprised this worked. I don't know what broke them, but okay. Like, you won't hear me complain. Alright, we'll take our blessings where we can get. Lighting's not ideal here, admittedly. Alright, let's see. Hey, I am. Let's see. What about this? What's the agenda, Loki? Hunting lizards, I am. We're hunting them all to extinction. It's about time we got rid of the lizards. Oh, he broke again. Uh-oh. There goes the controller. I see. Goodbye, me. Yep, goodbye. Sorry about that. Had to be done. Alright, what if we do it from this angle? Yeah, I know. Couldn't go about it more. No, we all have our times, you know. All right, let's see. Here, I assume he triggers, because, like, he triggers from every other angle when you're this close, so why not? Yep. I guess, though I'm not really impressed. Again, I much prefer having better lighting. Oh. I was sorry if I could get on top of here. I don't think it's possible. Yeah, I don't think it's possible. Don't think I could cheat it. Let's see if the guy triggers from here, though. I'm just surprised the lizard meme got to go for more than a year. I thought it was a thing that would die in a week. Well, surprisingly enough, it lasted. Yeah, I gotta resurrect that zombie every now and then, you know? For old time's sake. Though you've graduated from a lizard to anime girl, so I guess you've been waifu-fied. Get out of my shot. Get out of my shot, Dust! Goddamn Ash. There we go. Alright. The dust will eventually leave our site. Yeah, like that. There we go. Waifu fi, damn, about time, and maybe I get to be a VTuber. Just kidding! Yeah, sure. Sure. Everyone's a VTuber these days, I wouldn't be shocked. Let's see. Any other angles I can get of this thing? Not really. Yeah, nope, none of this works. Little bit of a different angle, so that way we can maybe get a slightly better look. Alright, wait for the dust to settle. Come on! Come on! Move it! Move it! Get away! Get out of the way! I want to take these shots and go home. Well, wait, I'm in my home. Well, you know what I mean. Stop it! Move, Dust. There we go. I don't know. Maybe. Right. Okay, yeah, we'll keep it like this for the time being. And there we go. Will From Sub hire someone for them to make a Priscilla VTuber? It'll never happen. Priscilla's dead. Miyazaki doesn't want anyone selling his waifu. Today was absolutely terrible. What happened today? Well, granted, I heard about how the former president, prospective future president, just got shot, so... Again. So admittedly, that is something. Oh. There we go. Oh yeah, Divine Blessing here. Wait, has that always been there? Huh, neat. Granted, this is Lofted Throne, so I'm not shocked. Every day is a new kind of disaster. Ah, I see, so we're just being cynical. Really? Again? To be fair, though, maybe I need some cynicism, because this is getting redonkulous. Tree. I don't like that. There we go. I don't want Gale's thing in the way, so... There, you don't notice. No. There we go. So if I must get more shots of that... I actually don't remember if the Herald guy actually comes out and stays put, so... Guys, kneeling to nothing. That is a surprisingly green tree, you know? Like, you compare this tree over, and then, yeah, this tree there. Some of these trees need to get with the program and understand they're supposed to be covered in ash. Maybe optimism was never an option. Optimism was never an option. There we go. There we go. Oh, I forget which way I wanted to go. There we go. Oh. Oh god, controller being controller. Really? just gonna do his patrol-y thing? Is that what we're... Is that the business we're in now? He's just gonna be walking around randomly, huh? Alright, let's see. You connect your controller with the PC using Bluetooth. Nothing weird happens like this. This is, I'm using the wire right now because it won't connect with Bluetooth. That's the problem. Like, that's the whole reason we got the Bluetooth connection thing. But it's constantly having problems. And I can't tell if it's because the controller's not properly charged, even though it's telling me it's connecting and there's no issue, right? Like, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't think any of that was gonna work. It was coming out too fast. Okay. I did not see that. Oh, you know what? I think I know what to do. We're gonna do this one more time. Except this time, I'm gonna just keep taking the shots, and even though there's gonna be the fire thing from the loading or whatever in the corner, I still press it, because eventually it's gonna stop, and then I can edit them together, and then no one will notice. Loki, your technology's outdated. I don't know how my tech is outdated any more than I am. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, problem is my character. Hello? Game? 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 Game, is that you? There we go. Alright, we're gonna try it one more time. Alright. How did Swampabus get up here? It's everywhere. It's not working. It's just not working. I would need to have an actual camera. We're having this issue again, huh? Ay, 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 ay. Well, we're getting out of here, thankfully. As soon as it stops freezing for no good reason. Hello? Hello? Oh god, we're gonna be here forever and ever 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 and ever. There we go. Really? It took 3 screenshots and it was like, nope. Alright, we're going to the shrine. Take me to the shrine. We're gonna try to get that Silver Knight statue that I hate one last time without using the cheat engine. I am desperate. Inner wall. What if I can see him better? No. Alright. solved my problem for me. Alright. Well, that's obviously not going to do it. Let's remove clothing just to make this easier. All right. Let's see. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, I want something like this. So the question is just how much do I have to get rid of in order to make that work? This is possibly acceptable. I think if I turn my character like that, it'll work. And the things we do to get around pixels. I will do this just as a test to kind of be like proof of concept type thing. Yeah. Maybe this. Okay, no, that's not working. Okay, yeah, there's a problem here. Hey, Carlo. Welcome to the channel. Let's see. Oh. Nope. There we go. Huh. About this. That stupid foot out in the corner that's causing the problem. God, if only there was a gesture that just made you invisible, you know? It's funny how there are a lot of Silver Knight statues, but there are no Silver Knights in New York City because they're all dead. What do you expect? They're old, man. They died out, they had to have humans replace them in Irithyll. What do you expect? Oh, maybe. No. I hate this, I really do. It feels weird to say this, but goddamn, I felt like I was more hidden with the thick armor on. This is probably going to be some of the best we're going to get, right? Yeah, like something like this. There we go. Gonna leave a little bit of that fleshy bit to be exposed right there for a moment. Maybe they just retired. You think there's a... You think anyone's going through retirement in the Ring City right now? It actually seems very fun, by the way. I'm glad you guys liked it. I very much enjoyed it. Always good when I can take a break and do some horror. Hopefully Silent Hill 2 will be really good, the remake, and then we can do that one as well. I don't think there's any other creative angles I can get either, right? So... do I care about shots of this guy? Oh my god. Oh, let's get a back shot. Does anyone know, if you kill this guy, do the other ones disappear as well, or do they still stay? I just want to make sure that I don't screw anything up for myself on this character. Because I'd like to ideally get all the shots on this one with these guys while we can. I've never played Dark Souls 3 in my life. Do you recommend it? I mean, have you played the other ones? Because if you like Dark Souls 1 and dislike Dark Souls 2, then I would still recommend 3. If you dislike both 1 and 2, I'm not sure if 3 will fix any of the problems you had. And if you haven't played any of them, I'd recommend starting with 1 or 3, depending on which one you think is more suited for you. Because 3 is a slightly faster paced than 1. I say slightly. So that could definitely have an effect depending on like what you're willing to stomach through for your first playthrough of the Souls game. The preview for Silent Hill remake were pretty good from what I heard. Well, that's good. There we go. Trying to. I want to see if maybe I can do something fancy with the editing, so I'm gonna... Ah! Well. If you like 1 and especially 2, you'll find 3 a little disappointing a little. Well, no one likes 2, so that's already a problem solved. 3 is the only reason Elden Ring exists. Can we stop? We were doing so good for a little while. Now controller decided it wanted to have its aneurysm again. Oh my god, really? Seriously, we can't have nice things. Yeah, keep going. get a little bit closer, and then step back. There we go. Really? Seriously? You gonna do this to me, bud? Well, whatever. I'll get the shovel while we have it here, right? Oh my god. God. I feel like I have to keep this controller plugged in at all times, make sure that it's definitely 100% fully charged whenever I play games now. Because it doesn't tell me, it doesn't let me know properly. I feel like there's always an error or something, so I'm going to make sure it's not ever a charging issue at least. Wow, I can't get that, huh? There we go. Alright. Now for, like, the actual, like, normal shot. There we go. None of you guys are answering me, so I'm gonna assume it's cool if we kill this bro. But let me first see if I can get the shot I want. No. This would be the angle I'd want for a shot like this, but the problem is, my character will always be in the way, no matter how I do so, and if I try to angle it any lower, it's going to look worse than it is with the other one. The other one, you could actually make it kind of sort of work. He looks like a very nice fella. He is. He is a very nice fella, but he has to die. He has to die for research purposes. But we'll keep him alive for now because, like I said, I'm not getting the shot I want, so we'll wait until I have free cam. Or at the very least, I can turn my character invisible. Alright, so let's see, we got the Herald boys up top. Let's go to the city streets. He murders his subjects for research purposes. Is that what every scientist does? They kill their subjects? That's what TV's taught me. Shared grave. No. Inner streets. Sure. At the very least, I can look around. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, God, he's in. Okay, sure. Okay. We're gonna wait till it runs out. That's how we'll do it. Because eventually it's gonna run out, he's gonna do the spinny spin. And we just have to take the shots like that. Like that. Oh god. Now we deal with the random freeze. So that's how you think it would go, Pastor? I mean, I suppose that makes sense. I think it's hard to judge with From Software titles for sure. I don't know, the thing for me is that because it's a sequel, I feel like it's easier to tell someone depending on how they felt about the previous games. Because I would have sworn off the series entirely after 2, if not for 3. And I only gave 3 a chance on an absolute whim. So So I can easily see... So I can easily see that being, like, a huge question mark for other people. Do you think these swamps are kind of cracked? What do you mean by cracked? Define cracked for me. There we go. We have to do this one more time. 3 is very mechanically distinct from 1. I wouldn't say too mechanically distinct, because at least for me, going from 1 to 2 to 3, 3 felt like I was playing 1 again. Like, it wasn't until I went back and replayed 1 that I even noticed a difference with 3. Oh yeah, that's purely in terms of how they play. God, why are we having even more? Alright, while we do that, I'm gonna... What? Oh, that was just my controller being weird? Okay, whatever. Same result I wanted. Loki, but what about all the fan service in 3? Fan service isn't bad. Like, fan service isn't good or bad, it just exists. The reason why people complain with fan service is when fan service is done without any purpose or direction behind it. And that's just not the case in 3. The problem is that no one understands the story in 3 because they don't understand the stories in 1 and 2. So they can't tell the difference between good or quote-unquote bad fan service. For them, they just thought, oh, it's the thing I recognize, it's the thing I recognize. Oh, it's just the things I recognize. The game has nothing else to it. It's like, no. You just don't get it. It's like when all the people in Dark Souls 1 would see the Demon Souls things and they would just be like pointing it out. It's like, yeah, of course, those are cool little things to do so, but it's not bad fan service. Dark Souls 1 was doing its own thing with the Demon Souls references it was making. Even when not considering 2, 1 and 3 are very mechanically distinct to me. Oh no, I agree with you on the merits of what you're saying, Pastor. I'm just saying though, for someone who went from playing going from 1 and then eventually to 3, it was something that wasn't immediately obvious to me in how it played, or especially the speed of it. Like I said, it was until I went back to 1 that I was like, oh wow, was playing Black Knight Sword really always this slow? Like it's just something that doesn't click with me. This is why when people say, like, they feel like Dark Souls 1 and stuff is sluggish to me, I get it, but only when I go back from playing, like, one of the faster games in the series. 1 by itself I never thought was too slow when I first played it. But again, that might be just me because I'm used to playing, like, old JRPGs and, you know, so games that are tend to be on the slower side a lot of the times. It felt like a smooth transition, yeah, for me. Again, you have to understand, I went from 1, again, I went from coming off of 2, which was absolutely miserable and awful, right? And then you go into 3 and you're like, oh my god, it's actually, I like immediately, like instantly, I'm like, oh my god, this actually feels like a Dark Souls game, you know, the Dark Souls game that I actually love. Moonlight Greatsword and Seath is the best fan service. I'm trying to think, is there a time where I have not liked the inclusion of a Moonlight Greatsword? No, I think they justify their inclusion of the weapon in all its incarnations, including this DLCs, fairly well. Seath, I can't say because I haven't played Kingsfield, right? So I don't know. Like, obviously Seath's his own character and stuff, but beyond, like, the name and the fact that he's a white dragon, I'm not sure how good the carryover from Kingsfield is. Three is more like a more polished one. Yeah, to an extent, I would agree. But Pastor's also right in saying that there's a lot of mechanics and stuff that just don't exist in the original Dark Souls that do in 3, right? Like, they're obviously very different games. It's just that, like, they feel right? Like, they feel like they belong together. Whereas 2 is, like, the weird, half-aborted baby. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted. Alright, I want to lower my camera a little bit more because I felt like the ring, even when I got the right shot, the ring was just, you know, slightly off in the angle. I feel like if I lower the camera just a little. Also, I should be wearing my armor, you know? There. This should be it, right, chat? I'm pretty sure this would be good. Like an actually functioning rolling. I want to like and defend too, but with its gameplay, I just can't. Yeah. Again, I feel like if there was ever I've said it before. I think Dark Souls 2 would benefit the most from getting a remake because you could fix a lot of the mechanical problems with 2. Maybe polish up or change up a few of its, like, you know, more intrinsic issues as well. Though you're never going to completely fix it, right? I think you'd automatically already have an infinitely better game, and it wouldn't be nearly as divisive as it is. Like, I feel like it has the most potential to be quote-unquote good. Now, again, is that going to fix it narrative-wise? No, but at least gameplay-wise, you could definitely make it where it feels more up to snuff. I like to, but that's about it. Heresy? I'm sorry, I can't say anything good about Dark Souls 1 rolling. The only thing I can kind of agree with people on is the jumping in PS1. Again, I don't mind the 4-way versus 8-way rolling. Again, but this is like someone who, like, when you have it, once you have 8-way rolling, I get it. You go back and you're like, oh my god. But like Dark Souls 1, you don't really need to roll. You could just block everything. Okay, I'm 99% sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay, I was just not close enough. Alright, this should be good, right? No. Alright, same thing. Oh. There we go. I think those were the shots I needed, so... Get ready for the freeze. There we go. Do any of these games have good rolling, though? I think Dark Souls 3 and Elden Rings feels good. Like, it's a very weird thing to say, because, like, what's good rolling? I think Elden Ring does the best in terms of differentiating the rollings when you're, like, lightweight versus medium and heavyweight. I like that a lot. I prefer a step-over roll. Yeah, I think Bloodborne definitely has the maneuverability stuff does it best. For sure. The only thing I'd like more with Bloodborne and its rolling slash stepping mechanic is that it could maybe do something more creative for chain attacks and things like that. Me personally, 2 is the only one I found janky. Yeah, 2 is jank. That's like a given, but... Granted, 2 also has the problem because it has adaptability. That's also what kind of makes it hard to judge 2's rolling, because it's not really the rolling itself, it's how they handle iframes for the rolling. So, like, I don't know how to, like, parse that. Like, the actual animations feel fine, but, like, with 2, they weirdly separate it, like, from, like, how the rolling is handled in terms of actually getting out of the way. And that's always going to be, like... That's always going to be an awkward thing to categorize. Alright, let's look at these shots. Alright, let's go to screens. This is Elden Ring screenshots. I don't care about those. Yes, give me... Oh. Let me try to open this for you, chat. Really? There we go. I always hate how weird it is with this photo thing sometimes. We're obviously getting rid of that one. Yeah, this could work. I can crop this, right, to something like this. It'll work perfectly fine. So how's the writing the thesis been going for you? Again, it's gonna be probably one of my largest I've ever made, so... What the frick? Guy's faster than the actual effect that he creates. That's funny. Yeah, it only fully forms until here. Okay, cool. Loki and his Photoshop skills. We'll see what my Photoshop skills can do. You guys are yeah, okay, just want to make sure that I didn't screw this up somehow, but yeah, you guys can see this. So I'm probably gonna crop this then, yeah. We can have something pretty decent for this one. I don't know. Maybe I'll use this one too. I don't know. Yeah, it's just amusing magic. I can't believe Loki has to fake his lore. Yeah, damn it. Yeah, guys, I'm a fraud. I fake all the lore. I make sure I Photoshop all my reference images so that way it comports with whatever predetermined ideals I have. I admit it. The Freudian slip again. Anyway, I get not wanting iframes innately in roles can make things interesting, but it's sinking skill points into it really the best answer? It isn't. If they made it into something like, it required a certain, like, if they handled it like Shadow Tree fragments, where you had to, like, get a certain thing, where you had, like, let's say a minimum number of iframes for rolls, let's say it was the same as heavy rolls, but then as you got more, you could make it work better, that'd be cool. But then there's the question of, well, how does that make sense, logically to a player, right? Because obviously a game is a game. It's not going to make perfect logical sense, right? Like you're hitting a dragon's toe until it finally keels over and dies for some whatever reason, right? Like it's not like you actually like, you know, kill the dragon in a way that's sensible, right? But you get the concept of hit points, and if I hit this thing and eventually it'll die of me continually hitting it, right? So you understand that intuitively. But your intuition doesn't apply the same to like how do I put it? To like how why would a slow roll be harder to dodge with than a fast light roll, right? Like when you think about it, you're like, okay, so it doesn't matter my equipment weight, my iframes are the same for all these rolls, so they're basically the same anyway. I need to get an upgrade thing to do it right. Then you'd have to make it where it's like, okay, you have an upgrade system where your iframes are now increased with your rolling speed and the animation, everything would have to be changed with it as you get the upgrades. But then there becomes the question of, okay, well, how's that going to work? Is it like it slowly gets faster with each upgrade? Is it after certain upgrades it then goes up more, even though the iframes are slowly increasing with each one, right? Like, it just becomes this overly complicated system versus what's done in the other games, where it's like, okay, well, depending on your weight's going to determine what your roll animation and iframes are going to be like. And again, like I said, I think Elden Ring handles this best by differentiating them beyond just iframes, and obviously animation speed, but also even distance and stuff in the case of light rolls. It's just something that I think it makes sense. Yeah, that's the problem. That one's not. That one could work potentially. Yeah, I think I like this one better. So yeah, what I'm going to do is probably edit out that piece of flesh right there. We're going to find a way to edit that. Looks like it's not going to be hard because there's already, looks like a thing behind it that it should be doing. So we'll just color that the same thing here and no one's going to notice. Again, this is all because I'm being weirdly OCD about this. Yeah, damn. It just isn't going to work. You can't be close enough. Yeah. I don't know. Metroidvania style, you have to find the upgrade that lets you roll. Yeah, but that's very different, right? It's kind of like with Legend of Zelda, right? Like, different games have different genres. Like, the reason why games are in quote-unquote different genres is because those help define the games in their own way, and they have their own pluses and minuses to what doing a change is, right? So having a roll function in one game isn't necessarily going to be the same in a game of a radically different genre, because all those other factors that go into making that game constitute that genre are going to completely change the not the hypothesis, but the analysis, we'll say. I don't know. I'm mixed on this one. And again, there's still loading screen fire in the corner that's ruining my day. I hate the healing stones. Yeah, I agree. They were dumb additions. They completely unbalanced it, and the much slower Estus doesn't help. I think I like this one more because the less fog in the way. This one just makes it too drowned out. Yeah, okay. We can make that work. I would love if they'd improve on the grass system. That's kind of what we got with blood vials. The only problem I think with grass and blood vials is that you do have to farm for them. And that's the issue, is that Estus is just superior in terms of being that nice comfort of always having a set amount that you can balance and work around. The best I can think of with blood vials and stuff is if you made it like Estus, where there's always a set amount, but it's a set minimum, and everything else goes up to a maximum that you can get through farming passively. So kind of like how Estus will get random automatic restores in Dark Souls 3, and in Elden Ring, it's after hitting a certain number of mobs. They can balance it around kind of like the humanity system in Dark Souls 1, where after a certain number of enemies in a certain area, it would hit a max in a counter, and it would give you 1 humanity automatically, right? For killing, you know, that number of enemies. They could do the same thing in Bloodborne, where they could just, you know, they could do some sort of calculation that would help them balance out. So it's like, okay, you're always getting X amount over the course of playing through this level, right? So you have your minimum, but if you're playing well enough, you're always going to be able to have up to a maximum amount. So you don't ever, like, unbalance it one way or the other. The thing about blood vials is they're a common enemy drop. They are, but it's still very possible and easy for players to run out, and then they have to spend a certain number of time out there farming. Ideally, you want to set it up so that way any player going through it is not going to have to feel the need that they need to waste their time farming for materials in order to get through a certain area, right? Like, you never want someone to feel like they have to like kill like the black skeletons a million times in order to get their weapon upgraded to get through the next section, right? Like, most of the time you want to make it like a nice side thing if it drops or it doesn't, right? Maybe if you're someone who's really hardcore, you want to go out of your way to do it, right? But your average player is going to feel like they're doing perfectly fine on their own without it. That would be the ideal. Yeah, I like this one. This one looks really good, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that looks awful. Yeah, that is the money shot there. All these others we can probably delete. Oh, no, I agree. It's a lot more bearable than DS2's frickin' healing stone system, right? Yeah, the problem with life gems has always been that they completely unbalance the game in the other direction, right? They're a thing where it's like, okay, you have Estus, which is kind of insufferable to work with because of the slowness to it, right? But then you have life gems that you can use while moving out. Like, it has, like, tons of benefits and things similar to some of the later games. But then, of course, life gems you can stack up, and very easily with DS2, like with a short farming session, suddenly you have more than enough to get you through, like, so much of the game. It's dumb. It's dumb in the other way. I wish I might have actually finished Dark Souls 2 the first time I played if I knew just how fucking busted life gems would be. Because once you know it, then it's like, okay, whatever. The game feels terrible, but it's like, okay, yeah, it's not, like, quote-unquote hard anymore. One of these might work, too. I don't know. I don't like... I'm not sure about this one. You know, maybe. Was that last one I took? Yeah, that one. That one, I think, is actually the one I like the most. The other thing I don't like is this stupid shit right here. That's distracting for me. Like, it draws your eye, because it literally hits the right exact point in the image that just draws your eye naturally. It's kind of annoying. I can edit that out, though, because we have so many options here. I can just take one from here and put it here, and we're good. Yeah, okay. I think I know what we can do. We can delete a few of these. Definitely this shit, unfortunately. Man, it would be so cool if I could get a shot of this, but I need to get a camera or something to make that work. And like I said, this stuff is good enough. Again, I would like it with a free camera or something like that, so we can probably raise the camera slightly more. But this is good enough where it's like it's not going to be like the biggest issue for me if we do it like this. Yeah, I like this one better too. Just gets the Silver Knight statue a little bit more in the frame. And this one I plan. This one I think I might edit to kind of like, you know, give it a bit more of that Dutch angle look, because it's got kind of this creepy look to it already. But I feel like if we angle it just a little bit more to the left, you know, it's gonna just twist it just a little bit. It'll be even better. But it might have to be this one. Actually, no, maybe I should have. We'll have to think of that one through. And yeah, like we said, we got this. Okay. Alright, chat. Not looking at that stuff. Plug that in. Yeah, especially in Scholar, for sure. Granted, Scholar's the only one I've completed, so... not the best person to go to for comparison there. Alright, is there anything else I feel like I'm missing? Healing Stones should have been like Sekiro or Elden Ring supplementary healing items where you can hold only a couple and the rest go to storage and refills on Undead. Yeah, it should have been like a Divine Blessing or something. That would have been smarter, but you already have Divine Blessings in Dark Souls 2, and that's the... Ultimately, the problem is that Dark Souls 2 had a philosophy of, ironically, it's the opposite of its narrative philosophy, which is to give players tons of choice. So it's the reason they made, like, Titanite slabs, like, drop a dime a dozen. Like, it's stupidly easy to get Titanite slabs and stuff, right? Because they wanted to make it where you can do... You had as many options available to you as possible. But the problem is that, combined with the poor execution of many of the mechanics, which might have also promoted them trying to make some of those, you know, busted options that they gave to you, just led to a very unsatisfactory gameplay loop overall, unfortunately. I see. I played through OG2 and Scholar the last time. So I can compare. Yeah, again, I've said it before. After 20 hours, I stopped at Iron Key. In fact, I remember it was right before Smelter Demon. It was in the room with all the knights and stuff like that. That was the area where I was like, you know what? I'm just done. 20 hours of absolutely zero fun. Like, it's like soul sucking. Like, I'm gonna kill myself. So like, let's just stop playing before I actually do. I told my buddy too because he was trying to help me. So I was just like, no, this just ain't it, man. What setting would you want the next game set in, assuming it's Sekiro, like China, Africa, Mesoamerica? I'd always love to see more Mesoamerica-inspired settings, just because I feel like it's underutilized. Like, who doesn't like fucking, like, heart-sacrificing, sun god worshipping Aztecs or something like that, right? Like, Aztecs look cool. So it'd be kind of cool to see something like that. I've heard people talk about the Black Myth Wukong, because that game was apparently super good. So people have talked about doing other Black Myth games in other areas, like say Mesoamerica mythology, or say Norse mythology or something like that, or ancient Egyptian or whatever. And I'm like, you know what, that is kind of cool to think about. The idea of games that are, I'm not sure if it's necessarily Souls-like, right? But, you know, definitely action combat focused games that kind of set themselves in the mythologies of different parts of the world. So that could be a cool idea overall. But in terms of like a fantasy setting, I would say Mesoamerica. Lately we've been getting a lot of Norse-inspired settings, which I've always approved of, but I would like to see more Egyptian-inspired settings. Something more with deserts and stuff. Like, I think, if you guys have seen the Archthrones mod, they're, like, going far with, like, Carthus and stuff. I would love a game set in a Carthus-like area. Like, you could have, like, deserts, but also oases. You could show different parts, like, on the coasts or up the Nile or something, like, you know, Nile-like, you know, with the grand rivers and stuff. I think there's a lot of potential there. I would like I'd like a series to tackle that besides Assassin's Creed. Oh, Quetzalcoatl would be a cool boss. Yeah, I think so too. I like a game in more swamps. Just do the Louisiana Bayou. I'm sure Nardi will feel represented. Also, we haven't heard from Nardi lately, so I'm praying that she is okay. I know she was worried about the storms the other day, so... God of War is apparently going to Egypt, Japan, and Mesoamerica. Can someone please let God of War die? Please. Please. Game where you're just in a bog with witches. They can make that work. I like the witch in the swamp idea from Dragon Age Origins. I would love a game that's maybe like set around there. Obviously, I'm biased, so I'd like it to be like a horror game or something. I feel like horror games have kind of stagnated, and it requires people like the folks at Amnesia and things like that in order to kind of inject new life into the genre. So we'll see. Noted. Don't bring up God of War. No, it's fine to bring it up and stuff. It's just that I always feel mixed about franchises that try to go in radically new directions for their series in terms of like gameplay and stuff, while trying to have a narrative continuation. That stuff is always going to be weird to me. And if they want to milk it in a way that they're going to like now take it where it's like Kratos is now going to everywhere around the world to meet every other mythology, it's like, oh god. If that feels like bottom of the barrel type shit. Bloodborne 2, but in the Bayou, not Europe. Actually, you know what? Next From Software title, set it in America. Yeah, make it kind of like, you know, you have the Bloodborne style, like, you know, Victorian or pre-Victorian type of like fantasy tech, right? But you have it set though in like, you know, that very old like American, you know, great outdoors, the bayous, the vast forests, you know, the rivers, the mountains, and all that stuff. You know, I think that doesn't get enough appreciation. At least, definitely not by Americans, that's for sure. I don't know about the rest of the world. But I feel like that's something that you could really go in depth there. You know, add like different, like, you know, different Native American cultures, you know. Want a game in Old Levant? Oh, that's a good one too! I would like a biblical-inspired setting. The problem is I feel like nobody wants to tackle it for like, they would be hated by all sides, right? Like, there's gonna be different, like, there's gonna be like fundamentalist sects and stuff that would complain if you tried to set it in there. There would be different historians, right, of various different pedigrees that would complain about whichever decision you make on anything, right? There would be then, of course, lots of questions of like, then there's always the historical accuracy crowd period who will be like, oh my god, this doesn't look like this, or blah, blah, blah. Right? It's just one of those things that I can understand why people avoid doing it, but that would be cool too. Maybe if you want to avoid that, maybe just go for something like old Mesopotamia, or Babylon, or something like that. As someone from the Levant, I was always curious how someone would do it. Yeah. I once thought about writing a book which would involve sort of like a Kingdom of Solomon era setting, like going around, you know, the entire, you know, both Middle East and just the general Crescent area. Well, not Nile Crescent, but the Tigris and the Euphrates. You know, kind of take a setting inspired by, you know, those regions during that time and stuff, and add some magic and things like that. You know, crazy necromancy and shit. I thought it'd be interesting to cover the idea of, like, you know, the different, you know, regions and the different gods and cultures and kingdoms that were around at that time, and, like, how each of them would, say, view their own gods or something, how they interacted with each other, right? But I never got around to writing that one, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll return to that idea one day. Assassin's Creed 1, different time period, same area. Ooh, that's an interesting notion. Well, we'll see if Assassin's Creed franchise survives. Their foray into Japan has looking, it's not starting off on the right foot. They just make it Bible inspired. Don't ever say it's actually the Bible. Yeah, that would be the smart thing. That would be probably the smart thing to do, right? Is to create a fantasy setting sort of loosely inspired by biblical events, but never ever using actual like people, places, or names or anything like that. But again, I feel like that would then get into the crowd of people who are like, why not? You're not just using the actual Bible, or are you trying to avoid doing? You're trying to thinly veil your, you know, trying to like, you know, biblical propaganda or thinly veiled criticism of the Bible, or, you know, like. Again, it's one of those things. I feel like there's no winning, and that's why I say that I get it with people. Now, again, just because there's no winning doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, no. Because ultimately, I think if it's a good game with an interesting story and a cool, cool image that it presents in every sense, I don't think people care. I think it's how it goes with most games and stuff. Because whatever criticisms you might have on those fronts with any game, I feel like it ultimately will always boil back to... Okay, yeah, we'll do that. I think it's always going to boil back to, but is the game good? AC was good, but the bias they have for Muslims is insane. All media after 9/11 had to be like super anti-Christian for some reason. I love the game, but I would agree to an extent, except it also okay, it's not, I wouldn't say anti-Muslim, but there's definitely a problem where like every Call of Duty game had to be set in some Middle Eastern conflict dealing with some like extremist Arab faction or something, you know. So I guess that's not the exact same thing, though, as, like, you know, say, like, an anti-Muslim bent, but, like, I don't know. It feels kind of... 9/11 did a lot of weird things to the culture. That's for sure. And it's just one of those things where I'm just like, they blatantly make Christians dumb, evil invaders after everything. I will say this. I feel like a game set in the Crusades would be nice to have that isn't, Crusades bad. It's like, really? It's one of those things where it's like, okay, I get it as a trope, but like, it's every single time. It's like whenever you're playing a JRPG and then the church turns out evil. It's like, wow, what a surprise. Maybe from here? For me, at least, I find that to be like, roll my eye worthy. Like at some point, it's like, can we please have some like... It doesn't even to be like the other direction where it's like, oh, the church is just like this completely sanitized and good, and they're just really nice or whatever. Because that's boring as well. Like, feel free to show like the church or the Crusades or whatever as corrupt and stuff, because there's plenty of great stuff to mine from there. But like, can we not just make it where like it's so like, what's the word, one-dimensional and cut and dry? It's just drives me up a wall when I see that stuff over and over again. Because it's like, it feels like the people just copy and paste each other's work and they don't even try to actually think or take things from different angles or ideas. COD is just a really bad kind of propaganda. Listen, ultimately, those corpos are just trying to make money, you know? They're trying to make money to a bunch of horny teenagers who are so jived up on testosterone that they need to shoot it out somewhere, and they decide, okay, we'll make a bunch of violent shooting video games in war. And then the CIA's like, awesome, make sure that you put these things in, though, so that way we can use it to help train new recruits or whatever. So that might be changing now based on the stuff they're trying to force in. Call of Duty is literally military propaganda, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think more than a few of the games have had, like, you know, outright sponsorships. I would not be surprised if some of the developers are contacted by the CIA or the other alphabet agencies. I would not be surprised about that whatsoever, to make sure that the game never crosses any lines that the government doesn't approve of. I love how the protagonist in Castlevania, Lament of Innocence, is a crusader who's a good person. I disagree with Tyrone. I don't think Assassin's Creed is pro-Muslim nor anti-Christian. Well, again, I don't really have a strong stance on that either way. I will say, though, I do think, though, that the Secret Society Templar thing is also a bit overdone as a trope. I would like to see something new. Like, it'd be nice if maybe sometimes it's like, you know, just weird, I don't know, like my priest that when I go to church every Sunday is secretly like a demon hunter or some shit. You kind of got some stuff like that with, what's it called? Dante's Inferno, right? The people who made Dead Space worked on that one, which I kind of liked. I felt the problem was that it was trying to be God of War, but it didn't have the same level of enemy variety and stuff. So I felt like it, gameplay-wise, it plateaued a little too early. But, you know, that was a cool idea, at least. Like, I'm like, oh, that's neat. You know, take a freaking normal poet man, you turn him into, like, crazed crusader or whatever, right? But again, it goes back into the, oh, crusade's bad. We killed innocent people here. So, like I said, there's the good and the bad. I think some of the higher-ups at the company are also ex-government folk, if I remember correctly. Oh, wow. Good to know. Okay, I'm going to give one more shot at this. Okay. Oh, whoops. Loki's priest is Kevin Graham. Okay, that's a good example, I am. In Trails, the church is this really... I love Trails world building because the way they handle the church there, even when it does go into some tropey territory later on, it just does it so well. Like, the way they depict all the priests and the way that the religion is handled in everyday life or whatever, like, it just feels so fully realized and just believable, especially coming from Japan, which Japan oftentimes, I've played about with JRPGs, I feel like Japan is often the ones who are, they fumble it the most. But this one, like, it just felt so refreshing and different. It's just so good. That's why I think Honkai Star Rail also handles this very interesting and stuff. Like the recent quest with Hule and Fei Xiao, the way they both talked about their gods, and the way, obviously, Hule is kind of in it for himself, right? So he's kind of talking about the problems with his faith, quote-unquote, in a very cynical terms. While Fei Xiao also discusses those problems, but ultimately she's still a Lan zealot, and she's all about the hunt. Because she ultimately sees it as the means to do the ultimate good by getting rid of all the abominations, the abundance that the hunt at least believes are responsible for the war and stuff like that, right? And the way that Honkai Star Rail even handled it with like Donshu and stuff, which again, I will always regret not streaming that, but just the way they handled like how Donshu sort of kind of reframed the entire conflict between the disciples of Sanctus Medicus and the Cienjo. Like, that was good shit. So I really do appreciate that type of crap. Yeah, well, the problem is that Assassin's Creed has always had a historicity problem, Tyrone. That's definitely true. I think the biggest problem with Assassin's Creed Shadows recently is not the quote-unquote historical inaccuracies, but the fact that they wouldn't just kind of be upfront about them, right? Yeah, I don't think we have anything else I'm really needing from these Locust guys. Like, I guess? Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not getting a shot like that easily, damn. Anyway. I think treating religion any kind is bad is kind of lame. Okay, it depends. Listen, I'm not gonna tell people that you can't treat religion as bad per se in whatever story you're trying to tell, right? My problem is when stories, one, they get so repetitive or whatever that it doesn't feel genuine. Like, you're not trying to tell an interesting point. You're kind of just recycling a point because it's something you saw someone else before do. You haven't really thought it through or tried to really make it work within your specific setting, right? Or you're somewhat, or maybe like you're so flagrantly biased that you can't even look at it from like a more nuanced or alternate perspective, right? So that's something where I don't like it with how it might be handled. I also don't like it though, with the idea that you cannot sort of show like good or bad to a culture, a faith, a religion, a worldview, or especially in like fantasy settings where like you have the most flexibility to define the cosmology of the world, and therefore how the people interact with it in a spiritual way, right? So I think in terms of that, like if you're gonna do like religion is bad or something like that, like I want you to at least take it from a more interesting perspective than like what's been like done by like, you know, 90% of other stories that have that in there either incidentally or like as their main focus. And again, it goes back to the idea of it needs to really feel like genuine and like it's adding something to the conversation. But again, that might just be me. Yeah, They come out too fast. I'll never get a good shot of them, unfortunately. I don't know if it was their intention with the breaking of historical accuracy per se, Tyrone. But again, like I say, I think the problem, like with Assassin's Creed, is that, like, if they just admitted that they are ultimately using historical settings as a basis for them to be able to tell whatever stories they want in the Assassin's Creed universe, I'd be more okay with it. But like with Shadows recently, they kind of only came around with that after they got all the backlash and stuff. Like, very early on, I remember how much they were kind of hyping up about, oh, this is the first one with the historical accuracy of, like, Yosuke and crap like that, right? Which just got them under fire. And that's just the dumbest thing. It's that when you're doing a fictional story based on a real-life historical setting, it's best to just own up to the fact that, like, you know, you're using history as a prop for the story you want to tell. So there may be some cool stuff, and you're free to keep it as historical as you want, but it's not necessarily going to be historical, and you shouldn't give people the illusion that they're learning about real history from you, right? We all know Gwyn is a bad dad who thinks he's a god. Oh, yeah. Alright, so I think that's everything, chat. Locusts covered, for the most part. Let's get the one up there one last time, because I never got him from the front. I only got him from the back when we were up there before. And I would like to... Is there any... You know, I think it's the last one, yeah. Really? There's only 3 of these guys in the entire... Am I crazy, chat? Is there really only 3 locusts that you can talk to in the entire game? I thought there was 4 for some reason. But I can't think of the 4th one. Yeah, I think the Assassin's Creed games were better in their earlier incarnations, for sure. Hopefully Ring's City Thief is going good. As I was saying earlier when Xavier asked, I think so. It's my biggest one yet. If I have one complaint about it, though, it's that because it's so big, and because I'm so rusty on my work, doing it with, what's it called? God, why is the lighting for you guys so shit? Anyway, because I'm so rusty and stuff, I keep on changing up the outline and things, and now I feel like I'm back in my groove and I know what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, the lighting for these guys is just terrible. Holy hell. Anything else I can do up? Yeah, I think I'm gonna need cheat engine, because I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, what if I get a shot of them shooting out the stuff from their butt? I don't think we'll be able to get that, though. Yeah, I think it's gonna be too difficult. I think ER does that with Goldmask lamenting about the hunters of those who live in death being so quick to contending with an evil that they miss the whole point of being a Golden Order fundamentalist. How do I feel? What I find interesting about Miyazaki is that he is very open to having a very stark criticism on one side, but always doing the same to the other side. And I think in Elden Ring especially, because there are so many factions and so many different potential endings, the game does a good job of looking through all the different worldviews and dissecting them appropriately. So yeah, like you have stuff like the way that Goldmask thinks of it. He has a very intellectual elitist mindset, right? So he looks at, say, what a lot of the fundamentalists do, and he's like, okay, well they're just resorting to, like, you know, very base, very simple thinking. They're not putting any thought into what they're doing. It's leading them to doing these terrible evils in the name of good, or what have you, right? But it's also, you know, counterbalanced by all the other perspectives on the Golden Order, which are both positive or nuanced, or some which are completely, like, you know, rejecting of it. And obviously, in Goldmask's case, he's just the type of person who thinks, like, you know what, it just needs a few tweaks to be, you know, truly perfect, right? It needs that intellectual polish. Maybe they're an afterthought, maybe. Alright. Yeah, I think I've gotten everything I'm gonna get. Yeah. Yeah, if I could move around with this thing, like in Bloodborne, maybe? Yeah, no. No, because I have to... No, then the small guys are gonna... Come on. Miss. No, you don't miss!
I shall party.
Okay, come on, maybe, just turn around. Turn around and shoot that white stuff out of your butt. Oh, prove you should marry Gold Mask instead of Ronnie.
I shall party.
Yeah, it's no luck. Okay, we're gonna move on. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what triggers it, but I don't think I can do it by just standing there. Okay. Alright, so we got some of the Herald stuff that I really wanted today. We got some of the locusts and stuff. We got some of the Silver Knight statues leading up to the mausoleum area. I want to double check the translation to Inner Wall and stuff. Shared Grave we have. Church of Filianor is fine. Filianor's Rest. I'll double check that because I think that's Bed Chamber if I remember, or at least Filianor's Chamber. But I have to double check that one. Obviously that's Gale. Oh, you know what though? Let us actually go to Gale, though. God, it's not racist enough. Gold Mask final words. Oh. 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 I'm gonna Alt F4, chat. Well, I think I screwed that up. I forgot! Going to Gold Mask, that's gonna trigger me. I should have gone to Filianor's Rest. Well, damn. Well, damn. Yeah, I think he's gonna take me straight back in. Gale! Yeah, we're instantly going to Gale. Well, I guess I could take screenshots of the cutscene, worst case scenario, but I'll have to switch over to another character then to get what I want now, because now I'm in the Gale fight, and that's gonna permanently be a fog wall. That's gonna suck. And if I kill him, that's gonna immediately... Curse you, Gale! You will rue this day, vile Gale! Oh, thank God. Thank God. Thank God! Doing this in the middle of the cutscene did that. I don't even know why it sent me all the way here. I don't care. It worked. Good, and this guy's still alive. There we go. Alright, so I want to try to get some good shots of the throne room. Now, unfortunately, I don't remember how far I can get before the game pulls the rug from under me, so...
Filianor.
Yeah, we know.
Help me. It's the red.
What are the current shots I have of this? A true undead warrior. Ring City. Serpent statue, secret shrine, seal of fire. think it's under Pygmy Kings. No, it is not. What is it under then? Ring iconography, lookout. Is it the tower? This is the church, royal envoy transcript. Oh no, that's for, okay. Royal mausoleum, church of Filianor, clerics, church guardians, boxes and pots, and Orlando, Missile Swamp, Dark Ruminants, Dragon Drift, Filianor's. Really? None of this stuff here? Gravekeeper Tomb, Gwyn Statue, Gwendolyn, Illusory Wall, Night Rest, Night Station, Locust, Lookout, Purging Money, Pygmy Citizen, Ring Iconography, Ring Knights, Royal Seal Fire, Secret Shrine, Serpent Statues, Shared Grave, Skeleton, Spears of the Church, Spirit Call. Really? None of these things look familiar to me. What the hell? Now under Serpent Statues. No Seal of Fire. Royal Mausoleum. Ring Knights, Ring Iconography, Pygmy Kings, Pygmy Citizen, Purging Monument, definitely not. Lookout, no. Night Station, Night's Rest, Illusory Wall, Gwendolyn. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's under Gwendolyn. No, it's just the tower. And okay. Gravekeeper Tomb, Giants, nope. Ah, yes, Ring City Knights. We remember these guys being in Dark Souls 1, right? Yep, totally. Drift. Oh yeah, I think it's Drift. Okay, one sec. We're gonna close this. Yeah, okay, that's good. See, look how much better this shot looks compared to the other one we were taking, chat. Like, oh my god. Yeah, okay. So this was the shot we got before. Alright, so I have this shot, this shot, this shot. I ideally want shots of the... I think we're gonna need Cheat Engine for it, though, unfortunately. Because I don't know if I can get better than this shot here. But let's keep this up there just so that way we can look. One sec. Silver Knights retired before this guy died. Well, this guy over here, he's undead, so he's gonna be around for just a little while. Omnipresent light in the distance. I'm gonna look up a video real quick, chat, just to figure out where the cutscene for Gale starts. Let's figure out. I'm gonna turn off the background music for a sec. Let's try to figure out where exactly the line is. Gale boss fight. Starts at the cutscene. Alright, this person is... Alright, this person's actually walking there, so... Alright. Okay, you can get pretty far. Alright, so basically, as long... I can go through the doorway. I can totally go through the doorway. I just need to make sure that whatever I do... because the Dark Souls lucky. Damn, Pastor, you got the smart response. That's funny. Alright, but I should be able to go through here as long as I don't go down the hill from the doorway. As long as I avoid that, we should be good. Don't want myself randomly walking in there. God, what is with all the ash? Go. I listened to your talk about Acer with Acer about Gwyn a lot. Oh, I love talking to Acer. Whenever Acer and I have a conversation, I know it's going to be a good one. Acer's just always so fun to talk to. How many kings is that? Do we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 in the throne, so that's 6? No, that's 7 in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. I'm counting like a moron. So 7. Then we have Gale feasting on one back there. That's number 8. And there's the guy over there, that's 9. And then there's the 10th boy from the Ring City Hollow back at the Mausoleum. So I give you full credit for my smart response. It's still yours that thought of it in the moment, though. Finn or dumped her brother for humans, shake my head. Well, what can I say? What can I say? I like how the Gwendolyn statues, they still have those there and everything. Nice. Go through the doorway here. Really? The 4th screenshot's where you're gonna start freezing things on me? Oh god. Not the skibbity toilet! No! What have I done to deserve this? Yeah, so there's at least 10 kings. So we see a minimum of 9 thrones here, but there's at least 10 kings. So there could be as many as like 16 or something. I think 10 though is a fair minimum to put though. Thought I was saying Guinevere, but I was Gwendolyn Maxon the whole time. Ah! No! My brain. Alright, I think we're done here. Like, obviously, if I had cheat engine camera, I could probably get a little bit closer to keep this lighting while we do this, but I think where we're at is fine for now. No cap, I hate skibbity toilet. Well, culture is culture, I suppose. It exists, whether you like it or not. Wait, am I crazy? Oh, okay, I guess I am. Is it a canon that Gale ate the pygmy, or is that just a joke? Oh god. Yeah, all the pygmies seem to get eaten. I don't think that's a meme. The way they're ultimately, the idea is that Gale is devouring the blood of their Dark Soul, so one way or another he's eating them, right? He has to consume the blood of the Dark Soul they have. And if it's all dried up, and he needs to eat it himself for the hope that it will be reborn in his blood, right? Then, yeah. He's kind of got to eat more than just, quote-unquote, the blood. He's not scraping it off like, you know, blood vessel by blood vessel. He's just, you know, chowing down. As we can see, he's, like, cutting open the throat and stuff. Tyrone, stop! Ah! Too much giggity from my skibbity. Yeah, I'm not getting any new or interesting shots of that. Alright. Alright, so we got that done. Anything we want from Medeir's boss arena? No. No, I don't think so. Because, if I recall... Let's get out of here. Where is it? Yeah, it should be under Secret Shrine, right? By the way, this is the shot that Zuli got for me. Because Zuli is awesome. Everybody loves Zuli. Much better than Zully. We'll say that. Much better witch. Look at this sorcery. I like this one especially. I think this one's going to be the one I use. I'll use this one and this one. This one, I mean, it's nice, but like, it's just not as interesting, I think, as this shot with all the hands and stuff. Now, granted, I already have a shot with the hands and stuff, so maybe it'll be too much here. Like, I have this and that, right? We're keeping that. We have this without the... That's how Ulasil went downhill. Koth just sprouted up, said skibbity and dipped. Yep. Yep, that's where it all went wrong. I do like these shots. I don't know if I want to use this shot, chat. I've thought about this. I really don't know if I want to use it. I keep thinking about whether or not I want to do it with this, because I think these shots are fine enough, and I think if I use this, it'll be good. Yeah, I think this will be fine. And then the back shot will be the reverse shot we have. I know I have it somewhere here. Yeah, like this or this. I don't know which one I like more. Yeah, damn. I like both of these a lot. I think in terms of framing, this one I think looks better in terms of scene composition, right? But I also like this one in terms of just getting a reverse shot on like a larger area. Rumor has it that the last thing Gale said was, "Even after everything is ash, I still years for Loki to finish a game." Oh, I still yearn? I thought you meant it's still been years. I have to go see us. Yeah, I am. I'm going to be finished up soon, too. Just trying to double check, make sure we have everything we want here. Yeah, I like that. I forget. Does anyone remember what item is on this guy here? I want to say it's something related to the spears, but... I love this shot so much. Alright. I like this shot, but I think this highlights the quote-unquote trees. You know, the rock pillars holding up everything more than that. Alright. Alright. Alright, if I can't think of anything looking at this stuff here, I'm happy with all the shots, and I think we're done. I think we're done for today. I'm gonna have to think over whatever I have here, if I want to add anything else, but I think we got a lot of the key, like, crucial shots I desperately need, and like I said, there's a few extras like Locust or something, which, again, if I have to, I'll get the cheat engine for it. But, like, we can survive. Anyway. Thank you guys for showing up. Appreciate you guys helping keeping me entertained while I try to keep you entertained, I guess. Be safe, y'all. Later.